What's up, guys? Silverpone here. Did you guys miss me? Yeah, it's been a minute. Anyways, today we're talking about Jump Force and why we deserve a second Jump Force. Now, as many of you know, Jump Force reached its end in 2023, which is tragic because not many games ever reach their end. Well, I guess you could say a lot of games do die, like their player base drops and whatever. But Jump Force was dead in another sense, that it got taken off the marketplace across the board and became inaccessible to buy for people that didn't have the game already. So nowadays, if you want to play Jump Force, you probably have to get it from a friend who has it installed on their console through like external transfer or something. It'd be like an external hard drive transfer, but that's getting into like a whole nother like ballpark there. But it's possible if you know somebody that has Jump Force. Or you could probably find it online somewhere, but like I'm not telling you to go do that. You didn't hear it from me here. But yeah, man. So if you own Jump Force now, the game is a rarity, so to speak, because it's not acquirable to anybody anymore. So the game is a rarity. So if you own Jump Force, man, congrats, man. You have a rare item. It's a relic. But I think we can all agree that within Jump Force, the game itself, it had a lot of potential in it. Like, you have all the Shonen Jump characters, well, not all of them, but a good majority of the characters, from ranging from like Dragon Ball to One Piece to Naruto to Bleach to Yu Yu Hakusho to Black Clover, My Hero Academia, Dragon Quest Dai. The list just goes on, right? You have all these different series within Jump Force. And so I think that the potential is definitely there for them to incorporate more characters in a second game if they wanted to go that route. Now, looking at like the history of Jump, I think there was like 2 Jump games that were on DS, if I remember correctly. And there was also a Jump game, I don't remember what console it was on, but it was like J-Star's Victory Versus. That was like the predecessor of like Jump Force, and I think one of the reasons Jump Force even existed in the first place because of that game, and a lot of people had love for it. Now, I don't know how J-Stars was received when it first came out. I like to say that it was well received, but I'm not sure because, you know, I didn't really see a lot about it until like years on. I didn't even know J-Stars was a thing until like around like 2017, 2018. Around that time frame. I didn't even know it was a thing. But Jump Force introduced me to all of that stuff once it came out as well. And it kind of made me go take a look back at the whole Jump series and kind of it just intrigued me a little bit because I've never seen like a game with like all the, well, not, I keep saying all, but a lot of Shonen Jump characters or a lot of anime characters from different series like into it like that. Like that in and of itself is like a gold mine. If they were to re-explore this entire game, like it's a gold mine. There's a lot of money to be made there, like within a Jump Force 2. I think everybody can agree on that. Yeah, so the fact that we have all the characters just is already a reason for them to make another game because they can incorporate way more characters into a new game. As well as, if we look at Jump Force again, I know I'm hopping all over the place here, but hopping into like looking at Jump Force now, Jump Force was a good game. A lot of people did not like Jump Force when it first came out. There was a lot of negative feedback online because of the fact that people thought the combat was broken or clunky, blah, blah, blah. But if you were like an actual player of Jump Force, the combat to me and to a lot of other people was great. Like it felt good. It felt like what it should feel like for having a lot of anime characters in a game.
逃がさないわ。こっちよ。楽しませてもらえる？
さて、相手をよく観察すること。戦いの基本だわさ。
Like you want it to be kind of high octane, stage transitions, a lot of broken combos because a lot of the characters are broken. But there were some things that needed to be polished that weren't. And, you know, a lot of people probably, that left them in a gray area about how to feel in terms of the game. But I will say that the game's combat was good. Now, like I said, there is room for improvement in terms of the combat and many other things. So that can be worked upon in a second game if they want to, but I'm not really focused on that aspect. For me, it's mostly about how they can get all the characters into a new game and include more of them, and probably even more characters from specific series like One Piece, Dragon Ball, Naruto, Bleach. We can have even more characters from all those series incorporated into it. Now, like, the reason why I do believe, like I said, I'm hopping all over the place here, but the reason why I do believe that there is potential for a second game as well is because the Jump series in and of itself isn't dead yet. Now, I did mention how, you know, there was like old Jump games on the DS and J-Stars Victory Versus and stuff, but the series didn't end with Jump Force. There was another game that was made called Jump Assemble. I made a video on Jump Assemble a while ago, just talking about the future of Jump and everything and how I think it could, you know, keep ramping up and get even better from there. Jump Assemble is showing us that, you know, the Jump series isn't dead. They still have all these new characters. They put even more characters in Jump Assemble. And granted, it is a MOBA game, which, you know, it's on your phone. I don't play a lot of MOBAs, which is, you know, kind of bad, kind of sad, because I wish I could enjoy it a little bit more, but I might change that here soon. I know Project Multi is like a, for Dragon Ball is like a mobile game, also might be on PC, so I'm going to check that out too. But, you know, I don't play a lot of MOBAs. But the fact that they even made a MOBA for Jump Force is big in my opinion. Now, I don't know how big Jump Assemble is. I saw a lot of coverage on it when it was first coming out with like a lot of characters being announced to it, like character trailers and stuff. And I thought it looked pretty cool. But like I said, I don't know how popular it is now. I don't know if people still play it a lot or whatever the case may be with that game. But the fact still remains that the game exists. So there is potential for another Jump game. And, you know, they could potentially re-explore the console games and make another game that has combat focus in it, which I think would be great for them. Which is leading us into the next topic here, is because Jump Force, when it met its end, I still don't know the exact reason for why Jump Force ended. I'm going to give you an explanation in this video because I'm going to go look it up. I'm not going to look it up right now, but I'm going to look it up after this video. I'll put it into the video while I'm editing. But I still believe that Jump Force ended because of licensing issues. I think that was the main reason for the game shutting down and why they had to remove it from stores and stuff, because of licensing problems, probably from a specific anime. And to my headcanon, I believe it was like Yoruichi and Giorno Giovanna, respectively, being from both like Bleach and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I think those were the series that put the nail in the coffin for Jump Force. But I mean, I could be wrong. If you guys know about it, also you can comment down below. But if they were to re-explore a whole new game, I just pray that they can nail the licensing and get everything right, because they don't need to try to look, if a character is going to give you a lot of trouble to go into a game like Jump Force, just don't do it, man. Like, I know the character might be hype and people want it, but if there's like trouble with licensing with a specific character, it's probably best to just leave that out unless it's all worked out on the end. Like, I don't know, you know, the behind the scenes in Jump Force about what went down and how the licensing happened to even get characters authorized in the first place. If it was an issue with like the characters themselves, I don't know how that went unnoticed or how it turned into an issue all of a sudden, because the characters got added and then it became an issue. But like I said, I could be wrong on all this, but still, Jump Force 2 needs to make sure that, you know, legally everything is handled and they can provide content to the fan base without having to worry about another shutdown, because that was probably a big scare for them. And it may be a reason why they went into like the whole MOBA thing in the first place. They probably didn't want to do another console game. It might have been easier for a MOBA to be made or something like that. So I don't know. I've been yapping for a minute. What else is there to talk about with Jump Force? I will say that the missions and everything, like the game overall was fun, but all I did play on Jump Force was like story mode. And then I did a lot of the missions, but I didn't complete all the missions either. I didn't even get to level 100. I think I'm like level 70 on Jump Force, and then I capped off there. But all I did was like PvP. I had a guild, I did PvP, and that was all I did. And I did like, you know, raids whenever the raids would happen and stuff like that. I did a good job of managing my guild, but that was all. So, you know, if another game comes out, maybe give us like some different modes and just make the game. I feel like there should just be more to do. You know, I feel like that it doesn't have to be limited to like 3 or 4 things. With a title like that, with all the characters you have in it, you can just get crazy and just make a whole, I'm not asking for a completely different game, but you know, you can incorporate some different modes and things to keep the player base sustained. But the combat is good enough. Like if they make another game, the combat and everything would probably improve to a degree where it wouldn't matter, so they wouldn't need to do all that stuff. But regardless, you know, I think it would be beneficial for them to add stuff like that, like new modes and whatnot. And another gripe I have with Jump Force was none of the cutscenes being voice acted. Like they were all they were all just like dialogue, like no voice acting. And I mean, like they can definitely get voice acting now, if they wanted in a second game. If they wanted to do that, like they could even use AI for the voices to get specific lines, unless they don't want to bring in all the voice actors, but they could. But man, like if they do a story mode in another game, just please make sure at least a lot of it is voice acted, because that took away from the enjoyment of the overall like series for me. Because like I said, you have all these crazy characters from all these crazy shows, man. Like I want to hear the dialogue between them. I don't want to just have to read it. Like it's just such a letdown, man, to have all of them interacting but then you can't hear anything. Like it's just, I don't know. That was one of my gripes with the game. Nothing with like combat and stuff. To me, the combat and everything was fine, like I said. But yeah, the game could stand for a rehaul, just an upgrade in and of itself. Anyways, I've been yapping for a long time. I probably have a lot more thoughts on Jump Force that I couldn't get out in this video, because this was just like straight off the dome. I just wanted to get something out, and I wanted to talk about Jump Force for a while. So yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts down below, what you guys think about Jump Force. Did you guys enjoy Jump Force, or were you a hater of Jump Force? Comment down below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and hit the notification bell if you want to. Thanks for listening to me yap, and I'm out. Peace.